So welcome to today's session about raising money with Easy Fundraising for your church. What we're going to do today is go through a few things. I'm going to try to keep it to about 45 minutes because I know you've all got evenings to get on with, so I'll try not to rattle on too long. I'm going to go through an introduction to what Easy Fundraising is, because I think having looked at which churches are here today, most of you are not registered with Easy Fundraising yet. So I'm going to explain what it's all about, how we work with churches. I'm going to give you a demo, actually show you how Easy Fundraising works. Then I'm going to talk through some sort of top tips on churches that raise really well with us. What do they do? And then, as I said, we'll do questions at the end, and I'll also just share my contact details again so that you can get in touch with me. So yeah, don't mind if I don't answer a question as we're going along, but I promise I will answer all of your questions at the end. So a little bit about Easy Fundraising first, before I explain exactly how it all works. So we are a fundraising platform. We were set up back in 2007 to help good causes raise money, good causes and churches of all shapes and sizes. We are members of the Institute of Fundraising, so we do take your fundraising very seriously. We also work in partnership with lots of dioceses, so we work quite closely with them to explain Easy Fundraising to their churches. We have about 190,000 good causes all around the UK using Easy Fundraising, including thousands of churches like yourselves. And so far, £50 million has been raised for good causes through the platform since we began. So I'm going to ask you a quick question. You don't have to physically put your hands up, but just want to think about, do you shop online? I'm guessing most of you probably do, or if you don't, I can see people raising hands, thank you. If you don't shop online, then I bet that your parishioners, your church community, some, if not all of them do. And the reason I'm saying this is because at the moment, according to recent stats, over 80% of the UK population shop online in one way or another. So that's more than 4 in 5 UK consumers. And 55% of that group do so at least once a week. And the reason I'm telling you these stats is because what Easy Fundraising does is we turn that shopping that your parishioners, your church community are doing, your congregation, we turn that shopping that they're doing into free money for your church, unrestricted funding for your church. And how do we do that? So we have partnerships with 8,000 leading online retailers. So all of the retailers that you can think of that you have websites that you might shop with, we partner with them, and they will all donate money to your church when your church community use the Easy Fundraising website or app to shop with them. So what I mean is, instead of going directly to a retailer's website, if somebody accesses a retailer through the Easy Fundraising site, so they come to the Easy Fundraising site, they search for a retailer, we send them out to the retailer's website. They then shop completely as normal. So they just shop with the retailer as normal, prices are the same, everything is exactly the same. But because they started Easy Fundraising, the retailer knows this and will donate a certain percentage of what that shopper has spent back to the good cause that they've chosen to support. So your church, basically. So when any of your church community wants to shop online, instead of going straight to the retailer's website, they simply access the retailer through our Easy Fundraising website or our app. We will send them off to the retailer. They will shop. So let's say they wanted to buy a kettle from Argos. Instead of going straight to the Argos website, they would come to us, search for Argos. We will send them off to the Argos website. They'll then shop as normal. They buy their kettle. It costs them whatever it's going to cost them, £49.99 for argument's sake. The retailer, Argos, will then donate a certain percentage of that money, that £49.99, back to your church. Argos, I think at the moment, donate 1.5% of what the shopper has spent. Each retailer sets their own donation amount. So some might just donate 1% or 2%. Some might donate 4% or 5%. But the really important thing here is that it doesn't cost the shopper anything extra. It is the retailer that is paying this donation, not the shopper. The shopper just spends what they were going to spend. And there are so many retailers to shop with. Here's just a handful of the really popular ones, but it's all of the online supermarkets, department stores, fashion, clothing, home and garden, lots of travel retailers, insurers, mobiles, even getting a takeaway from Just Eat or Domino's or Uber Eats can get you a donation, or even buying a train ticket from Trainline. All of these retailers will donate to your church when your church community shop with them. And some of the benefits that our causes tell us about, well, firstly, it is unrestricted funding. So the money that your supporters are raising for you this way gets paid directly to your church, and you can spend it on whatever you want. So this is not like applying for a funding pot from a funder, or applying for a grant where you have to say, we are going to spend this money on this particular thing. It doesn't matter to us what you spend it on. So if you just want it for core costs, for running costs, for keeping the lights on, for making sure the volunteers in your church have got tea and coffee, it doesn't matter. You spend it on whatever you want, because we know that good causes need to spend money on a variety of things. So it doesn't have to be a particular project or a particular thing. It's completely free. That is really important to stress. It's not going to cost you anything at all to become an easy fundraising good cause. There's no running costs, there's no monthly charges or anything like that. Doesn't matter how large or small your church is. You can use easy fundraising and it's not going to cost you anything. And likewise, it isn't going to cost your supporters, your church congregation, anything other than that shopping that they were already going to do. And because there are 8,000 retailers involved, all of the retailers that your church community is shopping with are already part of this scheme. So your church community doesn't need to change where they shop. And I guess this is the really, really important one. It's a way for people to raise money for your church, to help your church without it costing them anything other than that shopping. So it's not a donation that they have to make. It's the retailer that pays that donation. And at the moment, I spend a lot of time talking to good causes. It's, my role is I'm out there in the community talking to good causes. And, I know that it's a big concern at the moment, asking people to donate money, because we are in a cost of living crisis. And when people are struggling to heat their home or feed their children, they might not be able to give to you in the normal way. And you might feel difficult about asking them to do so. So this is a way that people can help you without it costing them anything extra. So it's a way for people to keep on raising money for your church, just doing their shopping. Before I go on and give you a little demo of how it works, I thought I might just run through a few questions that might be running through your head already. You don't have to be a charity to use easy fundraising, so don't worry about that. I know that most churches are unconstituted charities or unconstituted groups. You don't have to be a charity. You can be a charity, that's absolutely fine. We welcome charities, we welcome social enterprises, CICs, but we also welcome churches, faith organisations, school PTAs, grassroots sports clubs, voluntary organisations, any kind of organisation that needs to raise funds can use easy fundraising, and you don't have to be constituted in any particular way. And it won't cost you anything. As I've said, it is completely free. We are funded by the retailers. So the retailers will pay us a commission if somebody makes a purchase. That is separate to the donation. And that's what we use to keep easy fundraising free. It always has been free and it always will be free. And you'll be paid your donations every 3 months. What we do is we total up all of the donations that your supporters have raised for you through their shopping, and we pay it directly to your church every 3 months. It goes directly into your church bank account, or if you would prefer to have us send you a check by post, we can do that as well. So it doesn't go to your supporters and they have to then pass it to you. It goes directly to your church in one lump sum every 3 months. So you'll see it appear in your bank account as from Easy Fundraising with the amount that's been raised. You have to raise £15 in that 3 months to trigger a payment. But if you haven't raised £15, don't worry, you're not going to lose that money. We would never take it away from you. It will just roll to the next quarter. And £15 is sort of our threshold, our minimum threshold for paying donations, but you're never going to lose it. So don't worry about that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you a quick demo of how it works. So just to explain before I do that, the way that Easy Fundraising works is what you do first is you register your church as a good cause with us. So you that's here tonight or someone else in your church registers the church with us. It's really quick and easy to do, and I'm going to show you in a minute how to do that. Once you've registered your church, you simply tell your congregation, your parishioners, your church community about Easy Fundraising, and you ask them to come to Easy Fundraising and choose your church as the cause that they're going to support when they shop. And again, in a minute, I'm going to show you how to do that. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to show you what the experience is like for somebody supporting your cause. So although it is you register as your church and then supporters register, I'm actually going to show you in reverse order. I'm going to show you how it works for a supporter once they've already chosen your church as their cause. So just bear with me. I'm just going to share a different screen. So this is my Easy Fundraising account. I am a supporter of Home Start Birmingham Northwest. So once your church community, let's say someone in your church community, once they've chosen you as the cause that they're going to support, they will have a page that looks like this. They will be able to log into it and it will show them the name of the cause that they're supporting, which will be your church. There's a little bit of information here about how much the church has raised overall through Easy Fundraising, how many supporters, etc. And then next to that there, you'll see that they will be able to see the donations that they have raised through their shopping. So this is my genuine Easy Fundraising account. These are the donations that I have raised. You can see, so since the very end of December, I've raised about £6 there, something like that. So a couple of train lines. I've got a weekend break at the Belfry coming up. Some clothes from from H&M, and I did a search on flight prices and I got a donation from Skyscanner. So that's just to show you that's what an Easy Fundraising account looks like. So when someone has chosen their cause and then they want to shop, there are 3 different ways they can use Easy Fundraising to raise that money for you. So firstly, they can simply come to their Easy Fundraising page like this and search for the retailer that they want to shop with. So if I just type here, John, for John Lewis, anything that matches John will come up. Top one there is John Lewis and Partners. So if I click on that, it will take me firstly to this page. And all this page does is it tells me what my donation rate is going to be. So John Lewis are going to donate 2% of what I spend with them today back to my good cause. If I was to buy one of these products here, these slightly niche products, it's going to be 0.5%. But everything else, so 99.99% of the things on John Lewis, 2% is what I'm going to raise as a donation. So all I need to do is click any one of these yellow Shop Now buttons and you'll see it just takes me to John Lewis. I then just shop as normal. Everything is exactly the same now. I'm not shopping with Easy Fundraising. I'm shopping with John Lewis. If I have an account with John Lewis, I can log into it in the normal way. Everything is exactly the same, including the prices. The only difference is, and it's a good difference, is that you're going to raise a donation. So John Lewis will know that I've come from Easy Fundraising. If I buy something, 2% of what I spend will be donated by John Lewis back to my cause. So that is one way you can do it. You can simply just search for a retailer. I'll just show you another retailer as an example. So if I search for booking.com, you'll see here they donate 4%. So again, all I would do is I click that, it will take me to booking.com and I shop. That's the first way you can use Easy Fundraising. Another way is you can use our app. Now that works in exactly the same way as the website. You simply search from your phone on our app for the retailer you want to shop with, and we will send you out to the retailer's website. But there is a third way you can use Easy Fundraising, and it's called our browser extension, but it's more commonly known as our donation reminder. Because when we started way back in 2007, the thing that we heard most from people was, this is a great idea. I love the fact that I can raise money for my good cause as I shop, but I forgot. People were forgetting. People were going straight to the retailer's website and forgetting to go through easy fundraising first. And, that's human nature. We are forgetful people and we're busy people as well. So we created the donation reminder. And all you do is you download it to your computer or your phone or your tablet. And all it does is it sits unobtrusively on your device. And if you were to visit a Easy Fundraising retailer's website without remembering to go to Easy Fundraising first, the donation reminder will alert you. So if I show you what I mean, so I'm just opening up here a completely new browser. I'm not in Easy Fundraising. I'm just going to search for a retailer that I want to shop with. So I'm going to choose Etsy. They're one of my favorite retailers. So I'm just searching for Etsy. I've gone to Etsy now. Didn't go through Easy Fundraising, but it doesn't matter because the donation reminder popped me up this little message just to let me know that there's a 2% donation available. And all I do is I click on that. It keeps me on the Etsy website, but it logs me into my Easy Fundraising account in the background. You see, it gives you that little notification. And now if I go on and buy something, I'm not going to miss out on my donation. So it's really, really handy. It's not there to spy on you. It's not there to slow your computer down or serve you adverts or anything like that. It's purely there to make sure you don't miss out on any donations. And the other thing it does as well is if you were just searching for something that you wanted to buy, but you weren't sure where you wanted to buy it from. So let's use kettle again as an example. So if I wanted to buy a kettle and I just think, well, where can I buy a kettle from? You will see, if I scroll down in the search results, if there are retailers that you could buy that from that are part of Easy Fundraising, you'll have our logo here and our button there. So if I scroll down, you'll see it's Currys, Argos, Asda, Morphy Richards, ProCook, Dunelm, John Lewis again. So lots and lots. The range. I won't labour the point. But again, if I was to just then click on that one to Asda, it will take me to Asda, and it's taking me to the kettle page. And there you go. I can just carry on and buy my kettle now. So that's the other way the donation reminder works. 3 really simple ways to raise money for your church. You can either use our website, you can use our app, or you can use our donation reminder. And most of our supporters, most of our users do a combination of all 3. They might use the website sometimes, they might use the app if they're sitting on the sofa in the evening, and want to make a quick purchase, but they'll also have the donation reminder, but you can use any or all of them. So that is how it works for one of your supporters, one of your church community. And I'm just going to show you how to register your church with us. So all you do is you visit this link here. This is a page especially for churches, so easyfundraising.org.uk/funding-for-faith. I will send you these slides afterwards. It'll probably be in the morning, actually. And I will also send you the link. So don't worry too much if you can't scribble it down now. But all you do is you visit that page and you'll see this is what it looks like. And you simply type in the name of your cause there, your church, and click register now. The next thing you'll see is this screen where you just give us your name, your email address, and a password, because what we're doing at this point is we are creating a profile on the Easy Fundraising site for your church, and we are registering you as the first supporter, our point of contact. So you're not going to need to register separately. When you register your church, we'll register you at the same time. Then you'll see a screen that tells you that your church is now registered. So it won't say testing Becky, it will say the name of your church is now registered. You click next step. And because we are now creating a profile for you on the Easy Fundraising site, if you would like to put some information on that page about your church, where you are, what you do, what you're raising for, why people should support you, you can type that in here and we will display it on your page. If you don't have that information to hand, don't worry, you can just come back and do it later. It's not a barrier to registering with us. Or if you make a typo, or if you think, oh, actually, I wish I'd said that better, it's easy to come back and edit it through your account settings afterwards. So don't worry about that. If you don't have it to hand, just skip it and move on. Then, if you want, you are able to book a call in with a member of our team. So we offer this to all of our causes because we know we've been doing this a long time now. We know sometimes people just want to have a chat with a real human being, to ask any questions, to make sure they know what they're doing, to make sure they understand it. So if you feel like you would like to have a chat with someone, you can book a call in. It's completely free. Don't worry about that. It's not a sales call. We don't have anything to sell, so it's not a sales call. You just click book now and you'll get a calendar and you choose the time and the date that you would like somebody to call you. It can just be 5 minutes if you've just got a quick question you want to ask, or it can be 20 minutes or longer if you need, you've got more questions you want to ask, or you want a little demo of the site or whatever. Again, you don't have to have one of these calls. Our causes find them really useful. So if you think that you would benefit you, by all means, go ahead and book one in. It will be my colleagues Claire or Jess or Rena that will speak to you, I think, or possibly Louisa. And they spend all day, every day talking to our good causes and helping them get up and running. So if you would like a call, please book one in. And then you will have a page on the Easy Fundraising site for your church. So it will look like this, where there's that sort of big blank green bit. That's a place that you can also upload a picture or a logo if you have one, or something like that to personalize your page, but you don't have to do that straight away. You'll have a page that looks something like this, and it will have that button on there that says sign up and support this cause. Because the next thing to do once you've registered is you're going to ask your supporters, your church congregation, to come to this page and choose you as the cause that they're going to support. I'll show you in a minute how we've put together some tools to help you do that really simply. Before I do that, just a couple of things to say. So firstly, when somebody signs up to support you, the only information we're going to need from them is a name, an email address, and a password. Don't worry that you're asking your supporters to give out lots of information. You're not. We don't need their address. We don't need their financial details. We don't need their mother's maiden name, nothing like that. We simply need to be able to create them an online account that links to your church so that we know that they are supporting you and we know who to send the donations to. They also only have to do this once. They don't have to keep choosing your church every time they want to shop. They simply register, sign up and register to support you. And then they will have the screen that I showed you, my screen. They will have something like that that shows them that they're supporting you, shows them how much they've raised and their donations. And that's where they go to search for retailers, etc. To ask your supporters, your church congregation, to support you, we've put together some tools to help you do that, because we know that you're really busy. We know that fundraising is one of the things you're doing amongst many other things for your church. So the last thing we want is for it to be time consuming for you. So once you have registered, I'm just going to share my screen again. Once you have registered your church with us, we will send you some emails to let you know that you're all up and running. And one of the things we'll do is we'll tell you to go to this area, promote my cause. So if I click on that, in here, you have got lots and lots of ready written tools, communication tools to help you tell your church community. So if I scroll down, so for example, let's say the way that you communicate with people in your church is via an email. You've got their email addresses and you can send them an email. If you go here to email template, you'll see this is a ready written email that explains very easily what Easy Fundraising is all about and what they need to do. It is automatically populated here with the name of your cause. So because we're looking at my account here, you're seeing the name of my cause, but when you look at this, you'll see the name of your church. And it also is automatically populated here with the link to your church page where I showed you, where you've got that button that says sign up and support this cause. That is the link to that page. So all you would need to do here is copy that into your email and send it. You can amend it if you want. You can, change the wording, but you don't have to. It is all there for you. Perhaps the way you communicate is through Facebook. Again, the ready written Facebook post here, again, automatically populated with everything you need. If I scroll back up, what you've also got is posters and flyers. So you can download posters and flyers and handout cards to help you, again, explain to your supporters what it's all about and to get them to sign up and support you. There is also, if you have a website or a web page, there's information here where you could add a bit of information about your new Easy Fundraising account onto there. We have also got lots of different versions of the communication. So where I showed you Facebook before, in this bit, you've got lots of different Facebook messages. So when you register today or tomorrow after this session, the first thing you might want to do is send them a message. And then next week, you might want to pop another message up saying, reminding them. And then in a month's time, you might want to say, we want to raise X amount to buy X, Y, and Z. So there's that little message there. And then you might want to say, great news, we've already raised £52 with Easy Fundraising, or whatever it is. You could use this one here to do that. So there's lots of different messages to help you keep reminding your supporters, get them on board. You've even got a QR code. So if you want to, you can download that QR code or print it off. And if somebody scans that on their phone, it will go directly to your Easy Fundraising church page. So everything you need is all here in one place. So I just go back. All of your supporters have access to this area as well, these tools, because it might not just be you that wants to bang the drum about Easy Fundraising. You've probably got really keen parishioners and volunteers and supporters and whatnot who might want to share the message out with their own network. So providing they have registered to support you on Easy Fundraising, they can access these tools as well and help you share the word out. You, as the person that has registered your church with us, you have got access to certain things that nobody else has. So, for example, you're the only person that could change the name of your cause or change the description on the page or update or amend where you would like us to pay your donations. So you've got ring fence things. You're the only person that can see a list of your supporters and how much they've raised for you. No one else can see anything like that, so don't worry. But as I said, your supporters can use this area to help you let other people know about Easy Fundraising. Let me just go back to my slides now. So far then, we've talked about what it is, how it works. I've given you a bit of a demo of how people raise the money, shown you how to register your church, and then how to spread the word out to your supporters. And now I'm just going to touch on what our churches that raise really well with us, what do they tell us works really well for them? Because I think nothing beats hearing from a similar organisation. So these are sort of the top tips that churches tell us. The first top tip is supermarkets. Most of our retailers will donate a certain percentage of how much somebody spends with them. But the supermarkets, with the exception of Iceland and Ocado, as you can see at the bottom, the rest of them, they donate a flat monetary amount when somebody makes a purchase with them. And this is great because it is really, really easy for people to understand. If you have a supporter, a parishioner that shops with Morrison's every week, does their weekly grocery shop with Morrison's, they're going to raise £2 for you every week. So they know across a year, they're raising over £100 for you just doing their grocery shopping. So our churches love this because so many people do a grocery shop weekly or bi-weekly or monthly, and all of the retailers, all of the supermarkets will donate every time. So it's a really super easy way for people to support you. Also, if you as a church, if you're doing an event that needs catering, you're going to get food in or something for something that's happening at the church, you can use one of these supermarkets and get a donation for the things that you're ordering for the church as well. That is top tip number 1. Top tip number 2 is travel. Travel and holidays are great for raising larger donations because people spend more on a holiday than they would just buying a pair of shoes, as an example. On average, a family spends £1,500 on their summer holiday. So just 1 or 2 or 3% of that is a really big donation. And I showed you booking.com earlier, and their donation is 4%. We booked our holiday last summer, me and my family, with Booking.com. We went to Prague. We got a £49 donation for Home Start by doing that. So this is a really nice way for people to raise money for you, raise a more sizable chunk of money by booking their holiday. It's not just foreign holidays. We do have lots of holiday providers, package holidays like TUI and First Choice and Expedia, and lots of airlines as well. But it's not just foreign holidays. Lots of UK holiday providers too, holiday parks, hotel chains, days out, that sort of thing. I've also got coaches, so National Express and one of our retailers, Trainline, also things like ferries and cruises. All sorts of holidays can raise a donation. And it's not just the actual holiday either. Things like your car hire or airport parking or your transfer from the airport to your accommodation. All of those things, there are retailers you can book those through. And just to stress as well, again, this is not about asking people to book a holiday they can't afford. It's not about encouraging people to spend money that they can't spend. It's just about if they're already going to be doing that, if you happen to chat to somebody and they say, oh yeah, I'm planning to go to Lanzarote later this year, I'm going to book it soon. It's just an opportunity to say, well, actually, you might be able to raise a donation for us at the same time. In the promote my cause area that I showed you with all those tools, there is ready written wording there about supermarkets, also about travel, so you can easily tell your supporters. You can also raise donations when you buy things like car insurance, home insurance, mobiles, broadband, telecoms, that sort of thing, utilities. And rather than a percentage, they will give you a much larger one-off amount when you take a new policy with them. So it can be 20, 30, 40 pounds. Has to be a new policy. For most of that sort of retailer, there's about 200 of that sort of retailers, but mostly they won't give you a donation if it's a renewal. Unfortunately, it has to be a new policy. But it is an opportunity for people to shop around and perhaps get a better deal. You can also raise money through Go Compare and Switch and Confused, where they will do the searching for you. You can do that through Easy Fundraising and raise a donation as well. So those are some bigger donations you can raise, and they tend to be annual purchases. People will be looking, on an annual basis to insure their car or their home or that sort of thing. So again, it's just a good way of getting a chunkier donation. You can also raise things when you buy things for your church. Sorry, excuse me. Let's take a sip of water. So think about what your church needs to buy. So perhaps you have an office within the church and you need to buy ink and toner, office paper. Sorry, excuse me. Or office supplies, or as I said before, perhaps you've got an event, you're catering for people. You can buy things for your church through Easy Fundraising and raise for your church at the same time. There's no conflict there at all. So just think about what your church buys. Also think about your parishioners and your congregation. Do any of them buy for business or run their own business? Perhaps they need to buy ink and toner or laptops, or that sort of thing. So think about your network of supporters as well, because they might be making business purchases and you can raise money that way. And that donation reminder is probably my fifth top tip. It's the one that we hear about most of all. People love that donation reminder because it is really easy. Once you've installed it, it will pop up and let you know there's a donation available, and that's all it will do. It's not there to do anything else. There are a handful of retailers that it doesn't work on. So Amazon is one. So if you want to shop with Amazon, you're going to have to come to the website or the app, or our website or the app. Booking.com is another, Expedia is another, but most of our retailers do. I'm just flagging up some bigger ones that don't. So they do donate, but you won't get a notification for them on the donation reminder. That's just how they work, unfortunately. You'll find wording in Promote My Cause to tell your supporters about this donation reminder and help them explain it. When they register with us as well, if they've opted in to receive communications from us, we'll also send them an email to let them know about the donation reminder. So before I finish and stop for questions, there's just a couple of quotes here from churches, genuine quotes from churches that are, enjoying using easy fundraising and finding it to be a benefit. And then just to recap, that's the link to register through. Sorry, easyfundraising.org.uk/funding-for-faith. So that's how you register. Book a call with a team if you feel like you need to. And do feel free to contact me. Keep a note of my email address, because you can contact me at any time if you've got any questions. So I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to take a sip of my water. Sorry about that. Done a lot of talking today. And I'm going to quickly look in the chat and just see if I've got any questions to answer. So Rowena asked who funds easy fundraising. I covered that, but I think you probably asked before I got a chance to cover it. The retailers pay us a commission if somebody makes a purchase. And as I've said, that's separate to the donation. And we use that money to keep providing the service and keep it free for everybody. Rowena is also asking, does the account show the total amount of money raised by others as well as the individual? So when a supporter looks at their easy fundraising account, they see the total amount that's been raised by all supporters of that cause, and then they also see the amount that they personally have raised. The church, so the person that's registered the church, what you can see is you can see the total amount that's been raised, and you can see a list of your supporters and how much they've raised for you. But it is all GDPR compliant, so you can only see a first name and initial. So Rowena, just using you as an example, if you were a supporter of my church, I wouldn't be able to see your full name. I would just see Rowena B and the amount that you've raised for my church. So it is all GDPR compliant, but you as the admin of the court of the church, you can see a list of your supporters, GDPR compliant, and you can see who's raising for you. David's asking, can someone have more than one good cause? Yes, absolutely. So you can register to support as many causes as you want. What you can't do is split your donation. So say you support two different churches or a church and a school. What you can't do is go, well, I want 2% to go here and 2% to go there. You will be supporting one cause at a time, but you can easily change it. So you just go into your account settings and there's a button that says change the cause I support. You just type in the cause you want to support now, and it will change it to that one. But you can only support one cause at a time, if that makes sense. You can be registered to support more than one cause, but your donation will go to the cause that you're supporting when you make that shop, if that makes sense. You can also register more than one organisation as well. So if you are involved with more than one church or a church and a school or whatever, you can register an account for both of them. You can admin them both. Rowena saying, is there a firewall for this? No, there should be no kind of conflict with getting out to the retailers' websites or anything like that. I'm just going to check. Wendy's asking me, what sort of security for users is there, especially with lots of scammers around at the moment? It is all safe and secure. We are members of the Institute of Fundraising, so we do take your fundraising very seriously. If we were, so the retailers that we work with are reputable retailers. If we were ever to get wind of a retailer that wasn't abiding by T's and C's or whatever, we would remove them from the site if we felt that they were not benefiting our causes and their supporters. And likewise, when a good cause registers to join us, we manually validate every cause that registers with us. By that, I mean, when you register your church with us, we will check that your church exists and that we are satisfied that you are not just pretending that you're a church and really you're going to use the money to go on a foreign holiday. Not suggesting anyone here would do that, of course, but we do the due diligence at our end because, you're absolutely right, Wendy. It's really important to make sure that people aren't pretending there's a good cause when really there isn't. So we will do the due diligence, and if we are not satisfied that a cause is who they say they are, we won't allow them to raise money with us. Also, you can't raise money, you can't register anything that contravenes our T's and C's, so anything that would be constitute as hate or anything like that. You also can't register a political party, like a regional political party, because if we allow the mainstream political parties to raise with us, then we then would also have to allow the extreme ones. So we don't allow any of them. Sorry, excuse me. So we do take all of that really seriously. You can look at all of our T's and C's. They're really clearly displayed, and our privacy policy and everything like that. We're very open and upfront. So you don't need to worry that your supporters, your church community, are going to be scammed. We have a really, really high Trustpilot rating as well. You can go onto Trustpilot and you can look at all of our reviews on there. Let me just check if I have any other questions. No, I don't think I can see any other questions, but if anybody would like to quickly add a question, they're very welcome. What I'm going to quickly do is pop my email address in the chat for you, so that if you would like to email me after the session about anything, you can do so. And the link for people for you to register your church with us, I'll just pop that in as well, is funding-for-faith. I will send you the recording in the morning. It'll take a little while for it to upload, so I'll have to do it in the morning, and I'll also send you the slides and an email. You'll have an email from me with all my details. Hopefully that's made sense to everybody, and do please get in touch if you've got any questions. So if there's no other questions, I'm gonna pause the session. I said we'd do about 45 minutes, so we're not too bad here. So hopefully you've enjoyed it all. And I look forward to helping you raise funds. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to end the session now. Yeah, Bonnie, that's absolutely fine. I will send you the slides. It's not a problem at all. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.